on the globe. And that's one of my favorite things about SheEO. So before we get too deep into this, I want to turn it over to Finn. Finn Lee is a SheEO Venture Program Manager, and they are going to do the land acknowledgement for us. So take it away, Finn.
Hi, thank you. So I'm going to start us off with a land acknowledgement. I have grown up and I'm calling in from the traditional lands of the Bay Miwok people, whose lands were stolen by the Spanish missionaries that spread disease throughout the 1,700-person nation. The Bay Miwoks are now part of the Greater Bay Area Ohlone Nation. For the past 2 centuries, indigenous communities have been displaced from and dispossessed of their ancestral lands. Sacred sites have been destroyed, and families and communities have been torn apart through residential boarding schools and relocation programs. I further recognize the diverse Native diaspora of California, where I'm coming from, including the thousands who were brought here from other parts of the United States without their consent or through false promises of opportunity. These policies had a purpose: to permanently remove indigenous communities from their ancestral lands, force their assimilation, and erase their culture and identity. I am here to use the privilege I hold and support and raise the voices of those who are continually marginalized, silenced, and ignored, and give credit where it's due. A land acknowledgement by itself is not enough. It's a small gesture in practice that only becomes meaningful when coupled with authentic relationships and informed actions. Land acknowledgements do not exist in a past tense or a historical context. Colonialism is a current, ongoing process, and we need to build our mindfulness of our present participation. I am where I am as a direct result of the violence, deceit, and unacceptable pain they have experienced and still experience. Let's pause and take a moment to make space for the Ohlone people and all indigenous folks whose connection to this land we must remember and whose existence, past, present, and future, we honor and respect. And a small action I encourage all of you to take today is to find out what land you are on and maybe research a local organization that you can support. One of the things that I do is I pay a land tax where I'm from. So that's just something that I do, but I encourage you to find out where you're coming from. Thank you.
Thank you, Finn. Yeah, let's just take that moment of silence for just a moment. Deep breath, taking that in. Thank you all. So let me share with you the objective of the call. We are here today. I know many of you are guests. Maybe you've been on a few of these calls before. We're here to meet the SheEO community. There's something that we like to call #SheEO magic, and we want you to get a taste of the SheEO magic and have an opportunity to join the network if you're interested. So just so you know, these public calls occur once a month, and they are opportunities for activators and guests to get together and to learn more about SheEO. So you're in the right place if that's why you're here. Let me show you how this meeting is going to unfold. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hear from SheEO community lead Natalie Geffen, and we're going to hear inspiration and intention. That's what we're going to do first. Then we're going to go over to activator Vanessa Hall to hear a story about what's going on in the SheEO community. Then we have one of the coolest parts. We're going to break off into pairs, and you're going to get to connect with someone in the community. As I said in my intro, who you get to meet in this community, in this network, is so awesome. You're going to be blown away by these people. So we want to make sure there's time for you to get broken into a breakout room and meet people. And then we're going to hear from Sophia Yen of Pandea Health, before we then go into breakout rooms with folks around core SheEO programming topics. And then we're going to come back together at the very end to the main room, and we're going to have reflections, and we're going to close. So that's our plan. Let's dive in. Nat, I believe you have a video to show us all.
I do. I'm excited to share this video with you. For me, it's really about what does SheEO mean, and hopefully it's a little inspirational for everyone.
Six years ago, 500 women stepped in and followed the dream.
This is really a global network of change.
I want to build a legacy. You can't do that alone.
It gave us a vehicle to make the change that we wanted to see.
I found my people, right?
SheEO had to be created as a community because all of those other systems failed. And so the honesty around how really hard it is has been refreshing and inspiring.
They are serious when they say that they are interested and invested wholly on the well-being of entrepreneurs who are literally taking care of the world's to-do list.
If you need something for your business, please ask for it. This is your space, this is your time.
It didn't feel like closed doors anymore. It just felt like the more I asked, the more doors that opened.
We had the support we needed to finally believe in ourselves and grow.
I always knew that there was a different way to do business.
SheEO has put us on the radar. For the federal government now, we've just received over $500,000.
It's because of that group that I felt safe enough, that I felt strong enough to root down and to stand up and to ask for what I need.
We need your voices because our world is stuttering, and we need your wisdom and knowledge and your feistiness.
At SheEO, we often talk about how transforming systems start with transforming ourselves. And I do think that this work, this personal work that's often extremely uncomfortable, is really where we need to start.
And if you need a kick in the butt, dream it, design it, quit screwing around and just do it.
We believe here at SheEO that everyone has something to give and contribute, no matter what age or stage you're at.
All of my dreams are coming true that I've been dreaming for a long, long time.
Okay, so introducing myself properly. Hi, everyone. My name is Nat. I use she, her pronouns, and I am joining from Toronto, Canada, which is the land of the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, the Huron-Wendat, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. I want to start today by wishing everyone a very happy and joyful Trans Visibility Day, and a special warm welcome to all of the trans and non-binary people who currently exist in this community. You'll hear us talk a lot about community. And when we do, we often use two terms, activator and venture. So before I really get started, let me just clarify what we mean when we say those things. So who are activators? Activators are radically generous women and non-binary people who've stepped in, chosen themselves as change agents, who are here committed to transforming ourselves and our systems. We do this by gifting in capital, buying power, our networks, our expertise, our inherent gifts to support the ventures and one another. There's a wild diversity in our ventures. They range from 11 to 96, from C-suite to early stage entrepreneurs and everything in between. They come from all around the world, from Canada, from Australia, from Germany, from the UK, and we're honored to have all of you and each of them be part of this community. Those are our activators. Who are our ventures? Ventures are entrepreneurs who have applied and been selected by SheEO activators. There are only 3 criteria for ventures, and those are that your company is at least 51% owned and led by women or non-binary people, that you have an annual recurring revenue of between $50,000 and $2 million, and that your business is working on creating a better world. So when we use those terms, those are the people that I'm speaking of. And at first glance, the impact of SheEO has been really easy to categorize. I can list off some stats. Over the last 6 years, we've launched in 5 countries. We have more than 1,700 active activators. There are more than 6,000 people who've been part of this movement. We support more than 120 ventures who are working on 16 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and 41 specific targets, who employ over 800 people around the world. We have hosted summits and activation events, trade missions, learning circles. The Prime Minister has come to speak. We have industry leaders and influential thinkers, world-changing entrepreneurs. All of this sounds really fantastic and is really important, but to me, it's only a piece of the story of what we actually do here. Those might be the things that brought you here today or that made you learn about SheEO today, but I don't think that it's actually what keeps people coming back month after month, year after year to be part of this community. The true story for me is about the depth of our relationships and the strength of this community together. We have ventures who support other ventures. When COVID hit and one of our ventures lost all of her clients, B from the Linker immediately covered her payroll and allowed her to carry on. When one venture shared that they were having difficulty with the cost of freight and finding a new shipping partner, Sarah Cuddy, who works for 21 Toys, jumped in and shared what she'd learned and all of the contacts that she'd built. When one of our New Zealand ventures needed new packaging and was looking for a sustainable alternative, they turned to Nita Tandon from Dalcini Stainless and built a beautiful partnership there. We have activators who are in relationship with ventures. Over the last couple of weeks, over 100 activators raised their hand to support 30 ventures in a first-time pilot, to say, yes, I will support you. I'll welcome you into this community. I'll help you along your way. They showed up, they're listening, they're helping, they're connecting, they're organizing to bring these ventures to the front. And I have many, many stories, we all do, of activators raising their hands and saying, yes, I can help ventures. Yes, I'm here for that. We also have activators who help each other, who are in relationship with each other. Over the last 2 months, activators in Australia organized to reach out and call every single community member with the intention of getting to know each other, saying hello, discovering how we want to be in relationship and in community together. They gained tons of insights, knowledge, formed magical connections, and yesterday, 10 of them met up in Sydney. This is a project we're rolling out across all of our regions for all of our activators to get to know one another. And for me, these relationships and the relationships that are formed in this way are the truth. They're the magic of what makes this community work. The ongoing practice of radical generosity and the belief that each one of us shows up with our own gifts is what actually creates the impact of this experiment that we're working on together. So how do we do any of this? We do it by getting to know one another, which you'll do shortly. We do it by stepping in, by bravely saying, I choose me, I choose us. We do it by setting our intentions and rolling our sleeves up and getting to work together, to co-create together, to build the future together. We would love to co-create with each of you. Hopefully some of that resonates, and I'm here to chat further. Thanks.
Thank you, Nat. So I hope at this point you're getting a sense of the scope of this organization, what it seeks to do in the world. And I hope personally that you're getting a sense of the heart of this organization. I hope you can feel it at this point. And speaking of heart, I'm very excited to introduce to you Vanessa Hall. Vanessa is an American activator, US-based activator, who's part of something called the PNC cohort. This is a cool model where some companies, like PNC is one, choose to partner with SheEO and send many of their employees into activators. So Vanessa's part of the PNC cohort doing great things with her company here in the SheEO community. She's going to be sharing some story and impact from her perspective. Take it away, Vanessa.
All right. Hello, everyone. How exciting this model is and the partnership with PNC and SheEO. It has been an amazing partnership. As she mentioned, PNC has Project 257, where we're supporting SheEO, the ventures that are selected with 0% interest loans. As Nat said, support, support, support. That's key. So some things we're doing is we've launched this Money Mindset financial series. We had our first one yesterday. It was amazing. We talked about how people feel about money. What are your thoughts about money? We're trying to change that mindset to have money be our positive enforcement and things we know how to get to the money, how to qualify for the financial. So it was so powerful to begin the nuggets of transition into how we think about our money and how we invest and move our companies forward. So that's one of the things we're doing. The other things is we're cultivating and supporting each other. Right now, we are going to support a podcast for SheEO with the 5 ventures that were selected this year, get to showcase. Please tune in to hear about these amazing women and how they're running their organizations and being successful. And that's because of the support of the company and SheEO, the financials, and combining our support with SheEO to provide those 0% interest loans. We know we need financials to run our organizations, but what is most critical in this space, as Nat talked about, is support, support, support. We want to change that mindset. This model is so inclusive, where we share, we care, and we just bring each other along. As women, we've got to learn to come from our gut, express what's going on with our businesses, and come forth and have that support in this environment. So that's what PNC is doing right now. We're so excited. It's kind of disheartening to hear that it'll take 257 years for the female to have equity with the male, but we're confident that we can break that number down. We're confident. We are also talking about in the future with our US ventures and activators to doing something like a ladies' night out. So we're partnering with our business development team here at PNC to even have that event go out. So if you aren't a member of this great community, I advise you. It is just one of the best models I have seen in the business industry, and you will not be disappointed when you join this great community of CEO activators and ventures. So PNC, thanks CEO for allowing us to even be a part of this experience. All right, that's it.
Amazing, Vanessa. Thank you. And thanks again to PNC for this partnership. So at SheEO, we believe strongly that our work is best done when we are in relationship with each other. One of the most exciting events that we host twice a month is called SheEO Connects. This is a time to connect in one-to-one pairs with other members of the community. We're going to do one quick connect session right now to give you a taste of what you can expect. This is your chance to introduce yourself, meet another person in the community, and hopefully make a connection that you'd like to keep going outside of here. So in just a moment, you're going to be put into a breakout room with one other person. No pressure, have fun. Feel free to just share a bit about yourself, what SheEO means to you, and what you're up to in your world. It's a great time to get to know people. So let's get those breakout rooms online. You're going to see something pop up on your screen. I think we all have been in breakout rooms, but you're going to see a little thing that pops up on your screen. Just go ahead and accept, join the room, and we will tell you when it's time to come back. So don't worry about time. Just have a good time in there getting to know your one-to-one partner.
Beautiful. Thanks, Erica. And if you end up alone, give me a second and I'll find you a friend. See you soon.
Actually, one of the ventures that we funded in Canada, it's called Routine, and they're a natural deodorant company as well, and they've been really engaged in the network. So you are among some like-minded business folks.
Welcome back, everyone. I didn't want to interrupt my favorite person, Janaki, so I let her talk for a bit there, but welcome back. I hope you had a really fun time in your breakout room. So one of the negatives of Zoom is that you can't see the cool t-shirt I'm wearing right now, so I'm going to let you see it. It says, "Be who you needed when you were younger." But one of the cool things about Zoom is you get to connect with people all over the country who you may not even live anywhere near. So I hope you got a chance to sample that just now in this moment.
Erica, where do we get that t-shirt?
Good call, right? I will tell you a hack, by the way, activator hack. One of my favorite things to do when I'm on a call like this with other activators is to LinkedIn connect with these people. I'll find their name. I'll see their name in the participant list. I'll go find them on LinkedIn. I'll send them a direct message and I'll just say something like, "Hey, it was great to see you on the SheEO activator call. Do you want to connect?" And I've had the most amazing conversations with people who have seen that message and written back and said, "Yeah, let's connect. That would be awesome." So that's my little hack tip for you. Let's keep moving along here. I have another person to introduce you to. I'm so excited to introduce you to Sophia Yen, who is the CEO and co-founder of Pandea Health. This is free online access to reproductive health information and access to modern contraceptives, as well as making #periods optional. So we're going to just hear a little bit of sharing from Sophia and then do a bit of Q&A. So if you have a question that pops up, go ahead and put that in the chat as you're hearing Sophia talk.
Hi, everyone. Such a pleasure. So glad all of you are here and support the mission of helping women become, CEOs and supporting our ventures. Because as you know, women receive less than 3% of VC, and that women are also less than 3% of VC. So this, in your way, is adding to the funds that are available to women and adding to the success of women. My company, the whole purpose is to make women's lives better. Created it because I realized about 8 years ago, the number one reason why women one of the top reasons, don't get their birth controls, they don't have time to run the pharmacy every single month. And then realizing this is a 30-year problem from 12 and a half to 50. You have to avoid getting pregnant. And, and so this is a huge lifetime value and proposition. We're building the online health brand Women Trust. We purposely chose Pandea, the Greek goddess of healing, light, full moon. And then I made up the definition. Pan is every, Dia is day. So we gotcha every day. And we want to be with you every day from your first period throughout your entire lifetime. And we're about, the place you come if you want honest health information. And we can write your prescription or we can just deliver your prescription. Unfortunately, we're only in the US, but if anybody wants to license our technology for Canada or other countries, we're happy to have a branch there as well. And SheEO has been such a support. First, just bringing together 5 ventures, having a cohort, all of us suffering and sharing together, and then linking us with all the ventures. That has been, even better, because 5 is small and all ventures is even better. And seeing it throughout the different countries, coming together, sharing resources, supporting each other. I love many times it's ask, give, so this is what I need and this is what I can give. And that's kind of the way I run my relationships. You may never hear from me for 1 or 2 years, but anytime I see you, I'm supporting you, upvoting you, liking you, linking you, all that stuff. And then when you need something, call on me. And when I need something, I'm going to call on you. So pay it forward, pay it back. The other huge benefit, SheEO gives all of its ventures 1 year of coaching. And when you're a venture, you're like, I don't have money to spend on that. But it has been so useful. And Lauren is just a star. And we've had, interpersonal issues at our company, but also just business issues, and just having, that expertise out there given to us, forced on us, but totally needed it, is a amazing and great thing. And it's radical generosity. It's you investing in women, and it benefits the world and it benefits all of us.
Awesome, Sophia. So people who are listening right now, as we've talked about, part of what we do as activators is we support ventures. And so this is an example of a venture. If you're inspired right now, you should be, because this is what our money goes to. It's amazing. So if you have any questions for Sophia, who's kind of wearing the hat of representing all ventures right now, feel free to put a question. What's it like to be a venture? You can reach out to her offline, or you could go ahead and put something in the chat. And if we have time, we'll give her the floor again to speak about this. But it's radical generosity, as Shannon just said in the chat. It's radical generosity in action. And we know we get to be a part of making amazing ventures like this come to life. So thank you so much, Sophia. Anything else you want to say to potential activators?
Recruit everyone you know, because I'm sad that there's only 500, and there may be double in Canada or even more, and it should be, 50% of the population or everybody who could afford to invest at this level. And it's tax deductible, or you can write it off as, a membership organization, self-development, et cetera. But, it's not that much. As I like to, I'm from Silicon Valley, so I like to put everything in shares of Apple or Google. And I think it's like 10 shares of Apple or 1 share of Google. Less. So if you have any shares in Google or any shares in Microsoft or anything like that, just take the SheEO number and divide it into your shares and be like, it's just a couple shares. It's just a percentage, but it's just a huge help, a huge boost to have the community, to have 500 people in your country that that are rooting for you and hopefully voting you up and checking your LinkedIn posts and amplifying you, introducing you. I had a random introduction from a Canadian activator to her doctor friend in Texas, who is now our major physician and a menopause expert. So really, excited about that. So, Sophia, it's not that much.
Let me ask you one. I love this analogy, especially the shares. Let me ask you one question from the chat. What is the biggest change for you since you got involved with SheEO?
I would say it's having this giant sisterhood. It's a giant international sisterhood, and feeling that support, that virtual hug, that love, but totally love the coaching that I would have never paid for, because it just isn't in the startup brain or startup budget. So that again has been huge.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. And if anyone wants to learn more, there's a link in the chat to the TED Talk that Sophia did, Periods Optional TED Talk. So definitely check that out. So we're going to transition now to one of my personal favorite parts of these activator gatherings. We're going to have another breakout room. This time it's not a one-on-one, it's a group. And we're going to do something called the Ask Give process. And I'm going to turn it over to Nat to explain what that is and how it works.
Thanks, Erica. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna head into a breakout room. You'll be with like 5 or 6 other people. Encourage you to do a round of introductions. Where are you calling from? What do you do? What's exciting for you? What's resonating for you today? And then option to share. Are there things that you want help with that you are realizing that maybe you don't know how to get information about? Are there things that you love doing that you're really excited to share with the world that you want other people to know? This is just a moment for you to get to know one another, see if we can do a little bit of resourcing, see if we can do a little bit of connecting, and really find the way to bring all of our gifts to the front. I will be hosting a breakout room with a couple of new people, people who put those little asterisks in your names, where we'll talk about why CEO, what do we actually do here? So our breakout rooms are going to be about 20 minutes, 18 minutes, and we'll see you back here soon. Enjoy.
Actions, maybe got some things you can give and some things that you asked for.
I'm going to go into gallery view. Now I'm just narrating this for all of you. I hope you're enjoying my thinking out loud. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you all, now that I can see your beautiful faces, to show me how you feel about the call today. Maybe it's a thumbs up, maybe it's an arms in the air, maybe it's a smiles and joyful faces. Whatever it is, I'm going to count us down. We're going to do it twice. So try and hold your position as long as you can. And give me 1 second. Everything froze. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. How was today? Beautiful. And we're gonna quickly flip over to the next slide, get in a new position, feel a new energy. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Amazing. Thank you all. Erica, back to you.
All right. So thank you all for being here. I hope this was the best hour you've spent today. So just so you know what to expect from this point on, Nat always posts a summary of these calls on the SheEO LinkedIn. So if you're not yet following the SheEO LinkedIn, go do that, look for it, tag your friends, and you're invited to check out SheEO further. And just a reminder, as an activator, it's a great time. It's life-changing experience. It's a fabulous community, as we hope you've had a taste of today. It is the best $92 a month you'll ever spend. So we hope you'll consider activating. And we just want to thank you so much for joining. Thanks to everyone who spoke today. And it's been lovely to see you all. Make sure you connect with everyone that you can in the chat and go find them on LinkedIn. And we'll see you at the next activator call. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thanks, everyone. It was a pleasure meeting you. Hope to see you all soon.
It's nice meeting everyone.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.